The Great Pyramids. Although undoubtedly one of the greatest ancient sites upon Earth, many feel that when these enigmatic structures are one day inevitably deciphered and their subsequent significance realized, this importance to the development of man will utterly eclipse that which has already been unraveled here upon our planet. It is a site that we predict will encounter numerous astonishing discoveries that will undoubtedly be played down or discredited by mainstream academia and media alike. Interestingly, however, regardless of our suspicions, an international research group's finds have seemingly been shared worldwide by the same organizations we so often find ourselves here upon our channel accusing of conspiracy. This research team apparently applied methods of theoretical physics to the site in an effort to investigate the electromagnetic response of the Great Pyramids to radio waves, in an exercise reminiscent of those which unraveled astonishing characteristics of the Bosnian pyramids, has produced results that, predictably, since their discovery, scientists have stated were supposedly predicted under certain resonance conditions. They now state that the pyramid was predicted to concentrate electromagnetic energy in its internal chambers and under the base. This supposed initial prediction was made regardless of the fact that not a single claim to these events had ever been made within a single thesis funded by academia. Conveniently, this research group plans to use the theoretical results to design nanoparticles capable of reproducing similar effects in the optical range. Such nanoparticles may be used to develop sensors and highly efficient solar cells. The study was published in the Journal of Applied Physics. It seems to us that those in control of the production lines of mankind are seemingly aware of the technological prowess of the Great Pyramids, yet appear to be suppressing such discoveries in favor of financial control. In other words, the people who have permitted the release of these finds are the same people controlling the flow of information and technological development of our species. Quote, "The Egyptian pyramids have always attracted great attention. We as scientists were interested in them as well, so we decided to look at the Great Pyramid as a particle dissipator of radio waves resonantly. Due to the lack of information about the physical properties of the pyramid, we had to use some assumptions. For example, we assumed that there are no unknown cavities inside, and the building material had the properties of an ordinary limestone, evenly distributed in and out of the pyramid. With these assumptions made, we obtained interesting results that can find important practical applications," says Dr. S.C. Andrei Evluchin, scientific supervisor and coordinator of the research. "We feel the research is dubious, not only due to the fact that it has been shared within the same mainstream media, who we feel have for a long time been funded to tell an entirely different story, but also due to the attempted conviction that there are no chambers left to be uncovered within the pyramid. Is there something within the pyramid that, no matter how hard certain powers try, they cannot seem to hide? Is this the reason for this conclusion and subsequent research being so widely covered? We find the discovery and subsequent coverage to be highly suspicious." Ancient building techniques are an excellent subject to explore if one wishes to understand just how advanced our hidden ancestors were. Additionally, it allows one to get a true insight into the contradictions currently upheld by academic institutes the world over. There still exists an extraordinarily diverse array of building techniques. Some, interestingly, appear to overlap even older advanced methods. For example, a stone boring technology, seemingly used upon many ancient monuments, in many cases it appears to have been deliberately used to slightly damage these ancient stones, leaving them etched with uncanny marks, possibly in an attempt to also leave their mark to prove their past existence, later to be realized by us, now laying within their very distant future. We feel that these marks, along with many other aspects of these ancient sites, indicates that many ancient civilizations have been and gone here upon our Earth. Ancient metal clamps used to seat enormous stones, precision machine-cut blocks, some left within quarries, clearly indicating machine manipulation, impossible block building, effortlessly fitting random-sized blocks perfectly together. Yet the most enigmatic of these ancient building features, which many suspect was indeed somehow connected to the construction of said sites, has to be the protuberances. Rarely mentioned within history books, yet these protuberances are present on many of the most ancient of block structures, which can be found all over the world. No one seems to know what these protuberances were placed upon these structures for. The biggest of these, undoubtedly carved into the still in situ megaliths at Yangshan Quarry, a feature we have previously noted and pondered over. Not only do these enigmatic notches suggest a past, world-going, highly advanced civilization, having once prospered here upon our planet, but a feature known as the boss mark, found deep within the Great Pyramid of Khufu, may link, for the first time, the builders of the Great Pyramids to ancient structures found elsewhere on Earth. Furthermore, the methods used by the pyramid builders are, interestingly, the same methods used by builders of the other sites containing protuberances. This strategic building method, meaning that their ruins have outlived, we feel, many other ancient civilizations now lost to history. Their capability to move such mind-bogglingly huge stone blocks, and their ability to create such erosion-resistant structures, indicate to us that the builders of these sites may have lived an unimaginably long time ago, and probably chose to create such earth-shifting structures in a bid to indeed survive the eons. Were they doing so in an attempt to leave their legacy on our planet? Or maybe they were, and are, still trying to tell us something. Only time will tell.
There are many unsolved mysteries still to be unraveled and decoded upon and within the Giza Plateau. Tunnel systems deep within the Great Pyramid, built to have 8 sides and covering hundreds of acres, built with such precision, only drifting mere centimeters from a perfect alignment over several thousand years, and perhaps far longer. The enigmatic so-called star shafts once effortlessly cut through the entire pyramid, shafts a mere few inches wide, thus one can only explore them and what lay beyond with the utilization of robots. And also these explorations limited only to specific funded individuals who know to keep their mouths shut about what it is they are hiding. Thus, their purpose, indeed the entire pyramid's purpose, still unknown to the wider world, for I feel it indeed known by now, especially with modern robotic technology, yet this hidden, concealed, or simply untold. I say this for a number of reasons, one of which being the following theory as to the purpose of a set of puzzling boxes which lay deep under the earth, a theory which, if proven accurate, will blow the lid off this entire cover-up. The reason I mentioned the star shafts is due to the fact that during their construction, they too shared an incredible feature with the subject of tonight's video. That being the fact that whilst the structures were being built, and due to the inevitable waste that would be spilt and set aloft during these gigantic constructions, these shafts somehow once hermetically sealed, completely airtight and isolated, cut off from the elements. Eventually unsealed and rediscovered as we see them today. The giant stone anomalies within the Serapeum of Saqqara, however, were left perfectly sealed for millennia, completely air, water, and disaster-proof. Their lids weighing an incredible 20 to 30 tons each. These magnificent relics not sealed with compounds or mortar, but rather through the utter precision in which they were executed, being only a mere few microns out from perfectly level across each lid. They would seal shut perfectly, just via gravity. Rediscovered in 1850, this set of 24 incredible giant granite boxes, each once placed within their own individually carved sandstone grotto, deep below central Saqqara, separated by a walkway or veranda down the middle of the cavern, as if once utilized as some form of show gallery. The academic theory put forward for the purpose of these magnificent boxes is predictably the proverbial Old Faithful, that of an explanation of being none other than that of tombs. What's more, constructed merely for burying bulls as sacrifices to the gods, the size of these relics and the effort and accuracy involved, along with their specific characteristics, however, clearly all suggestive of a more profound past function. Along with these same institutions, universities and academies alike, all previously and continuing to assert even the pyramids themselves never nothing more than tombs, I find their explanation not only suspicious, but I feel a possible cover-up. It is at the very least a preposterous stance to take. However, as mentioned, an incredibly compelling theory has recently been put forward, which could explain why the boxes were placed where they were, deep underground, why they were constructed with such unusual characteristics as to have been so top-heavy, but also what they could have possibly been used for, or more accurately, what they could have been generating during the time in which they were once operational. Recently, explorations and experiments have been undertaken in a quest to understand the cause of a bizarre natural phenomenon known as earthquake lights. Enormous flashes of light, which are witnessed during earthquakes, beams of fluorescent energy so strong it refracts back off of the ionosphere, lighting up not only the sky and the air around one's being, but the entire earth below one's feet. They are emitted by rock, specifically occurring when bodies of granite are put under tremendous pressures. Whilst under stress, amazingly, granite emits enormous amounts of luminescence, which has led a number of independent researchers to use this phenomena to explain how no soot marks are visible on any of the ceilings of the Serapeum. For they believed that instead of burial tombs, these boxes were giant fermentation units. Units which could sustain pressures 1,000 times that of a car tire before the lids would inevitably pop off. Supporting this theory are not only the first illustrations of the boxes, witnessed to have had weights placed upon the lids to hold them down, but also, many millennia later, when the box is rediscovered, all that would remain is remnants of yeast and indeed bull bones used during the fermentation process. This process, not just lighting the Serapeum for the charge that would be generated and released, as the quartz came under such tremendous pressure, would have not only made the interior glow, but would have charged up the ionosphere above to such a degree, the air and even the ground itself would have glowed across the entire plateau. Undoubtedly an incredible sight to behold, and if confirmed beyond doubt, an astonishing alteration of the mainstream historical understandings, especially in regard to what these ancient builders knew, and indeed what else they could have been up to. Quote, "As the granite boxes experienced mechanical stress, electric charges would appear. The charges typically are dispersed toward the ground surface. When the charges reach the surface, they ionize air pockets above the ground and would have lit the sky above Saqqara. The giant Serapeum sarcophagi used to generate electric charges with pressure, built inside by CO2 gas. The pressure put on the quartz crystals created electric charges on the surface of the sarcophagi. Those charges were then dispersed from underground toward the ground surface. The released charges would have ionized the air above Saqqara, causing the air to glow." End quote. These giant boxes were clearly built for a purpose, and not to simply bury bull sacrifices. For if they were, they would have at least been mummified, and not simply bones. They would not have been constructed to be some 40 tons in weight, and they would especially not had lids constructed deliberately to weigh over 25 tons on their own. It is a theory that could quite possibly turn out to be their true purpose, one that will demand a long overdue complete overhaul of what we have all been taught are ancient Egyptian relics. It is a theory which I find highly compelling.